Hey, what's up everybody? Today's recipe is going to be some straightforward old-fashioned beignets, fried to perfection and coated with some sweet snowy sugar. Alright, so let's dive into the recipe. First up, you're going to need to get the starter ready. So in a small mixing bowl, add in your warm water, along with the sugar, yeast, melted butter, fresh vanilla bean or extract, depending on what you have on hand, and finally, the warm milk. Give this a good whisk, then you're going to cover it with plastic film and let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes until it gets all frothy on top. Once the starter is bubbling with life, remove the plastic film and transfer to the bowl of an electric stand mixer. If you don't have an electric mixer, this part of the process can be done by hand, but the amount of kneading time should be doubled. Add 2/3 of the bread flour and a generous pinch of salt and mix on low to medium speed for 3 to 4 minutes. Then you're going to add the remainder of the bread flour and continue to mix on low to medium speed for another 4 to 5 minutes until the dough becomes very elastic and slightly sticky to the touch. Transfer the dough to a buttered up bowl, cover with plastic wrap, and allow this to proof or rise for 1 hour or until it has doubled in volume. When you're about 15 minutes out, heat up a large pot filled 1/4 of the way up with some canola oil, peanut, or vegetable oil to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Dust your working surface with a generous amount of flour and begin to roll out the beignet dough to about 1/4 of an inch thickness or less. Now I prefer to roll them pretty thin for really extra crispy beignets, so keep that in mind when you're rolling them out, but obviously that depends on your preference. Cover the dough with a damp towel and let them proof again for 30 minutes before you cut them. Once they're proofed, cut them into small shapes, square being the traditional shape of a beignet, and fry them for 2 to 3 minutes on each side. But be sure to turn them about 30 seconds in, otherwise you'll end up with a very flat-sided beignet, which is still fine, but you won't get that really well-rounded puffy shape that we all look for in a good beignet. After they're all fried up, transfer them to a tray lined with a few paper towels to catch the excess grease, and finally comes the powdered sugar. Less is more, more is less. It really all depends on what you want. And that's it. Crispy puffed morsels doused in snowy sugar amazingness right at your fingertips. All right.
I'm so excited about this. I've been asking for beignets for...
It's been like at least a year or two and I haven't gotten around to it. And finally, I got my beignets, got my beignet game on. They have the beautiful puff in the middle. They have this like, you know, little puffiness to them I just love so much. It's like as soon as you bite into them, it's like an explosion of powdered sugar. So
it's always really hard for me to not just want to dive into it.
It's
but
so good.
How many rounds of these did you have to do before you nailed it?
Just one. This is the first time, first attempt. But I made donuts before, and they're the same thing. Beignets and donuts are the same thing, except beignets tend to have this like square shape to them, right? You know?
Yeah.
And they don't have a hole in them like most donuts
Unless you're at Disneyland, and then they're Mickey Mouse.
And they're Mickey Mouse, yeah. All right, let's dive in. Oh my God.
Cheers.
Cheers.
As the powdered sugar goes.
Beignet, cheers.
All right.
Oh, see?
Wait, do I have powdered sugar everywhere?
A little bit, but that's what eating a beignet is all about.
It's all good.
This is what makes a beignet, basically a beignet, is it has this big hole in the middle. Makes it really, there's like really crispy on the outside, kind of flaky, soft, tender in the middle. And really, it's simple, right? Simple pastry.
Oh my word. You nailed this one.
Thanks, babe.
This is so good.
I love it, dude.
It's dangerous because we have like, how many of these did you make?
Dude, watch this.
Why are you doing this to me? Why does he always do this to me?
Watch this.
Why?
It's a little snow from above, you know?
Uh-oh. Oh my gosh.
They're so good, right? You like peel them apart and it's like this like tender crumb bread in the middle, like sweet bread.
Can I say that I think that these are just as good as the ones from Disneyland?
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a high bar. So.
I've never really tried them anywhere else. I was craving them so bad.
Disneyland, they're a different shape, and obviously it fries up a little differently when you have different shapes. Like the thinner you go, the more crispy you'll get them. So everyone has their own take on beignets. But these turned out great. Well, hope you guys enjoyed my take on beignets. Well, it's not really a take. This is pretty traditional. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below for future video requests, things you want to see on my channel. Subscribe at the end of this, and I'll see you guys next time with another recipe. Later.